All right, so that last video, I kind of, instead of clicking pause, I hit stop, and so, yep, the rest is history. So, I probably have shown you these Emerson Model 220 out of Emerson, Nebraska. That's the Emerson Manufacturing Company. Fun fact, these are not the same ones I showed you last time. So I found the one that I purchased previously was a guy who was like 10 minutes up the street. So he ended up selling me the 220s. Yeah, he ended up selling me a set of 220s, which these are rated for, I want to say one of these are rated for 12 tons. It's at 24,000 pounds. Yeah, so each one of these is rated for 24,000 pounds. I'm pretty sure. I'm starting to doubt myself. Yeah, 24,000 pounds capacity. So 12 tons. So both of these are rated for 48,000 pounds. That's what you can lift with both of these. That assumes that you're running at around 2,000 PSI, or not 2,000, that's really crazy. 200 PSI. You know, you have good CFM, good PSI. So like I said, previous guy sold it to me. I ended up buying the 220s, and then they have a smaller set that's rated for about half of that. And I ended up picking up those 110s from him also. So I have a pair of these already, and I have a smaller, a little broader to it. And then I found this guy an hour from me. He was selling it. Communication wasn't very responsive on eBay, but eventually it was like, hey, I just need to close this deal or not. And he agreed. Ended up picking these up. This one's, they're really you can tell they weren't really used hard, because you can see the saddles aren't really beat up like the first one I got. And these are just adapters that you put in here. I'll do a more detailed videos of these, because there's only one video I see floating around on YouTube. These actually came with all the original handles, all the original pins, because you can pin it. So this just kind of, it works on a bladder system, and you feed air in through right here. Which, talking about this is my only complaint about this stuff. If this hose was to get cut or break or something, I'm not sure how it's adapted in here. I would need to pull the sleeve back actually to see how it's adapted in there, because this one, I'm not sure if you can see it. It's broken right here. So what I'm hoping that it has like a replaceable. You'd figure, because you can see the well spatter right there where they well something. So I might try to peel one of those back after the video. Actually, let me pause the video and I'll try to do that now. Anyway, looks like I'm gonna have to put some lubricant on those, let it sit overnight, and then I might be able to, I'm pretty sure this collar looks like I can pull it back, because it looks like a fail-safe. It looks like I mean, this thing is, you watch that one video and the guy takes these apart, which I'll eventually take these apart, because this has this yellow seal right here, and what this is, it's not a seal. It's literally just a guy putting an O-ring there. You can see right here. And these things are pretty heavy. I want to say these are around 170 pounds each, so they're pretty heavy. So he got a used O-ring, pretty heavy duty O-ring, and he just slid it around the opening right here to create a little bit more watertight. Because the initial ones I picked up from the first guy, they didn't have anything like that, and they have some water in there. The thing that I'm holding in my hand is where you obviously want to run these in tandem, simultaneously. I guess you can use them single if that's what you're lifting, but say you're lifting something heavy like a truck frame or something, you have these two things set up, and then you plug both of these air lines into these openings right here, and that's how you control, you know, the lifting action. It's easier to lift one side with just air, and then lift the next side a little bit, you know, and then eventually get them at the same height, all that stuff. So this is the critical component to making sure that these things lift simultaneously. I mean, you could potentially press both of them simultaneously, but I would just do one at a time. You're not gonna tip anything doing that. But I guess I have 2 pairs of these now, complete. You know, that's a lot of weight that I could lift if I need to, and these adapt. This is unique to this setup, or at least this setup in terms of this purchase. The previous ones only came with that adapter. This one actually came with this adapter right here also, because this one has the little lip on it. This one is just like, you can see it. I thought he made it, but it looks original. And then for some reason, I got this in there. I'm not sure what it's for. His grandson was the one who did the transaction, and I guess the guy was a diesel mechanic, well, maybe the older gentleman, supposedly, assuming because he has a grandson. But he was a diesel mechanic, mobile mechanic, and so he had these. This is slightly leaking, but it doesn't have any oil in there. I think it was just how he greased it or something, because this is all bladder system in there, and it just lifts up, and yeah, it uses compressed air. It's pretty easy to wheel around. You got these handles, and you just kind of stick them in here. You stick them in there, and then you have your handle to lift it up, and then they just typically fit right here for storage if you don't have the space. But yeah, super happy about these. I'll be looking out to get another set of the 110s just to have a full set of each, you know. So I got a full set of this one, and then I have just the 110s, which are lighter and smaller, but it's the same concept, just less on the capacity. So anyway, I don't have the time right now, but I will be taking these apart. My plan is to take these apart just to see the conditions of the bladder inside. I haven't even tried them. It's Saturday. I don't want to run the air compressor. I've already purchased them. I'm pretty sure they're going to work based on the condition I see them in. And these are, I mean, these are just tanks. These are just solid steel. So it's not, there's nothing to go bad. The only thing that I could see going bad was this hose rupturing, and I want to pull this hose back to see what type of connection they have right there. Because if that's a connection that's easily replaceable, like it's just threaded on right there, then my concern is not, I don't have any concerns at all, because I can replace that. And of course, I don't want to lose this. The one that I got from the first guy, you know, like the pin had fallen out, so I'm going to knot this pin back in, make sure it's good to go. And probably put a little air on them so they don't like fall out. So we'll leave that there for now. But yeah, I want to, you know, bust these bolts off. It has like 3 of these, looks like maybe 24 bolts. And I want to bust those off, take a look at the conditions, replace the bladder. The one I previously bought, the first one I bought, the guy replaced the bladder. But I kind of want to, I'll also take that apart to see the condition. Yeah. And then maybe I'll give them a paint job. But I'll at least wash them down a little bit just to make them less dirty. But yeah, other than that, these things are tank, man. And I love how they just, the assembly is just easy. This just fits right in here. And you just put your, you know, it's really heavy duty stuff. I got a box truck, so I'll be looking forward to lifting it with that. And then, also, so eventually I'm going to call the manufacturer Emerson, and I'm going to inquire about getting pins, because the previous one, the first one I got, I keep saying previous, the original ones I got, the original set I bought, there was some pins that were missing, and he was using some stock, some steel stock, I'm not sure if those are rated for the capacity, so I want to get the original if I can. These ones clearly came with the original, and if I can, I'll get handles and stuff. But I at least want to take it apart first, and then see what I need. Maybe I can purchase new stickers and stuff, just to, you know, yeah, for sales calls. Yeah, so I'll just call those people. But it's gonna be a little bit until I get to that. I do like this design though. I might see what these rubber washers are, or rubber gaskets, and I'll purchase it for the next one also and put them there. Because in the eBay photos, I was like looking at this and I was like wondering, what is this? Is this like a different design? But it's just a guy, you know, using his smarts. These aren't watertight. I mean, water can still get down in here, so it's not watertight. But if you're using it outdoors, you don't want to, this is not something that you want to take apart often. But definitely if you leave it outside, water gets down in there, you definitely want to, you know, address that rust, clean it out, and then put some rust inhibitor in there or something. But anyway, this video is getting long. I'm getting dirty. As me, I always say, like on anything.